All right, cold call reaction video time. My content team sends me these videos. I don't watch them before and I just react to them, but I know they're around the topic of calling out in the marketplace. So whether some movie or show uses cold calling telemarketing, or and whether they're trying to like show us how crappy it is, or whether there was a good call, a bad call, we're reacting to it all. Let's see what we have today. All right. I don't have my glasses on, so I never really know what I'm looking at until I am ready to watch. It's Stranger Things, The Russian Doll. Love Stranger Things.
Mrs. Erkenbright, let me ask you something. Have you ever wished you could have the answer to any question right at your fingertips?
Oh, gosh.
Yes, it's just like those big fancy books you see on TV.
All right, so we will stop here. First of all, Mrs. Byers, you gotta love her. I know she's taken this telemarketing job. You've kind of seen bits and pieces throughout the seasons. At this point right here, she is essentially starting off with a question that is pinning down the prospect in a lot of ways. And this is something we try to avoid in calling because it sounds salesy, it sounds cheesy. Now, Mrs. Byers, she's got her own magic to her, so I'll let her do her thing. But if we're relating this to the 21st century, you don't want to go forward with asking, would you like $1 million? Do you want to feel great? That kind of technique in the 21st century is a bit outdated and probably won't get you very far. So let's see how Mrs. Byers does though in the rest of this conversation. I haven't seen this scene in a long time, so I kind of forget what happened here.
Yeah, just imagine you'd never have to go to the library again. Or, hey, think of the money that you'll save on gas alone.
Okay, so she's answering the door here from the mailman, but what she's doing is also asking questions, which are kind of good. You know, she's creating a mental image in the mind of the person on the other end where, you know, she's trying to paint the picture of how her encyclopedia books are going to change her life. But she gets distracted here. Apparently, we'll see how she handles the rest of this.
Nothing. But these acceptance letters tend to come end of week, just to make you sweat.
Oh, I'm sweating.
It's coming, Mrs. Byers. Don't you worry.
I always work.
All right, so clearly not a situation that any SDR caller should be in, and certainly not one that a manager would want to see their team member in who's talking to a prospect, which is interrupting not just the fact that they potentially are, oh no, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Keep going.
Just go and you can edit that out? Okay. So not only are they, you know, going through some motions that, you know, might not be the best techniques in telemarketing, they're also interrupting the call with the prospect. They're putting the prospect on hold and having this conversation with the mailman.
Great. Thanks.
Oh, gosh. Did I lose you? Hello?
No, sorry. Carol?
Oh,
Can I
hi.
call you Carol?
Yeah, of course.
Great. So what are we thinking? Do volumes A through C, or we could do the whole alphabet?
Well, remind me.
Yeah, it's great. This scene kind of just reminds me of like what work from home can be like. Like everyone's been on Zoom calls where things we saw at home should not have happened. It's similar when you're working from home and making calls. You know, if you have a Bluetooth or you have this amazing wireless home phone from the 80s, you can walk around and do other things. And this just shows, you know, she's having this conversation trying to make a sale while also she's in this really intense situation where Hopper's missing and she's trying to figure out, you know, where he is. And that's just classic remote work troubles that can pop up.
Remind me how much
Carol, can I call you back?
She's got the little reverse psychology going on the prospect where she doesn't have time now and she's throwing it back on the prospect unintentionally. obviously she's got a lot of other things going on. So one of the main lessons that I'm learning from this is if you're going to be calling, stay focused on it. It sounds like she had somebody good who is possibly on the hook there. She's doing a decent job within her own right, but clearly she's not in the right frame of mind to be making cold calls in 1985 or whatever this is. She's got bigger fish to fry. So well done, Mrs. Byers. You did a good job handling the situation with all the other things we know you're dealing with in the Upside Down.